Hello everyone, welcome to my research presentation. In this section, I'm going to present my research which is bridging the .id domain purchase intention with website channels, vector analysis approach. My name is Wahyu Aditya from Universitas Indonesia. The outline of this presentation, the first one is introduction, the second one is methodology, the third result, and the last one is conclusion. For the introduction, in Indonesia, domain purchasing involves registrar and reseller as entities who sold the domain to the registrant as entities who buy it. Since 2006, the .id domain had been organized by the Indonesian Internet Domain Name Manager, PANDI. It had a target to make the .id domain the primary domain of Indonesia people. In fact, the .id domain penetration was relatively low, since its ratio was 1 per 855 with a 304,000 domain for 260 million people. In comparison, Malaysia and Singapore had a ratio of 1 per 88 and 1 per 46 respectively. For illustration, figure 1 portrays the growth of .id domain purchase for 2018 and 2019 among registrars. At registrar A, .id domain sales were very high, both in 2018 and in 2019, while registrar B, C, D, and others had a tiny sales both in 2018 and 2019, and the highest average for .id domain purchase 37,610 at registrar A, while the lowest was 888 at registrar G. It indicates a large gap between them. This problem unveils an actual problem that should be solved immediately. This research identifies and analyzes factors influencing .id domain purchasing to fix that situation effectively. An accurate and comprehensive understanding of this factor would accommodate what did motivate people to purchase the .id domain for a specific case website channels. This factor examines what caused the community to buy .id domain through website channel, which were solved in this study. The study was conducted by analyzing the factor that influenced the domain purchase intention on a website channel that is the backbone of selling .id domain itself. The factors to influence this research include website quality, trust, attitude, emotional connection, service response, online experience, emotional value, social website interactivity, brand choice, brand experience, and purchase intention. For the methodology, this research consists of several phases. Problem identification, as mentioned in introduction before. Literature review, I did systematic literature review and got 4 reference papers. For the research instrument developments, from 4 reference paper, I arranged the variable and created the hypothesis. For the pilot testing was conducted to clarify its readability, and 6 respondents participate in this pilot testing. For the data collection was conducted through Google Form and distributed through social media. For the data testing using Smart PLS tool, and the last one is conclusion making. So for the literature search, for the SLR, systematic literature review, the first one is literature search, database search, IEEE, Science Direct, Emerald Insight, Taylor and Francis. For the search limit, journal, conference proceeding in English, and publication date 2010 and 2019. And the total 343 article are filtered on the basis of title and abstract, and then a search result that cannot be processed, total 273, and the article content purchase intention factor on the website, total 70, and article are filtered based on the background and methodology, total 4. So in the table 1, the previous study that the author used. The first one is website interactivity and brand development of online travel agencies in China, the moderating role of eight, and then how a branded website create customer purchase intention, and then the influence of website quality, brand awareness, and perceived product quality on purchase intention of video games online store. The last one, a study on the operation mechanism of website brand equity based on SOR paradigm. So this is the hypothesis model. The hypothesis 1, website quality influence trust. Hypothesis 2, trust influence purchase intention. Hypothesis 3, attitude influence purchase intention. Hypothesis 4, emotional connection influence emotional value. Hypothesis 5, service response influence emotional value. Hypothesis 6, online experience influence emotional value. Hypothesis 7, emotional value influence purchase intention. Hypothesis 8, social website interactivity influence brand experience. Hypothesis 9, social website interactivity influence brand choice. Hypothesis 10, brand experience influence purchase intention. Hypothesis 6, brand choice influence purchase intention. The result, these questions was distributed through social media for 2 weeks in November 2019. Got 143 respondents contribute to their valid answer. Most of them came from cities in Java, especially Jabodetabek metropolitan region, where in line with internet penetration in Indonesia. So for the respondent demography, the majority gender male, the majority age below than 25, domicile in Jakarta, majority domain type .id, majority, the majority website channel, Rumah Web and reseller, and the majority frequency one time. So for the recap of data interpretation using Smart PLS, CR must above than 0.7, AFE must above 0.5, FL must above 0.7. As we can see, all variables are valid and reliable. For the R square, 0.7 indicates strong reception in the model respectively, 0.5 moderate, 0.25 weak. For the Q square, where greater than 0 indicate that the exogenous variables are predictive. For the PET coefficient, for the acceptance of the hypothesis, T statistic must bigger than 1.984 and the P value must below than 0.05. So for the conclusion, this research identified and measured the factor and divided into 11 hypotheses. 9 hypotheses were accepted quantitatively while 2 others were rejected. Accepted hypotheses, these variables were proven as driver factor, trust, brand experience, and brand choice. This research proved trust positive influence on purchase intention. It means consumer trust in ensuring personal information and protection of payment transaction were important in making a domain purchase. The brand experience with a brand positive effect on purchase intention through interaction with the website, experience with a brand refer to the feeling and emotion of consumer after interacting with the brand. For the brand choice, it shows that a brand choice contributes positively to .id domain purchase intention. It also explains the meaning of brand choice for registrar or reseller website that refer to consumer preferences when compared to choice brand other domain sellers. This research also captures several initial factors to achieve this variable, website quality and social website interactivity. That's all my presentation today. Thanks for your attention.